Welcome back to Chow Time Pods. Your host. I got a video today from Alexander Grace.
Hey, tomorrow I made an oil change appointment for you at noon, so all you have to do is just drop off the car or go over there and they'll do an oil change because I know you need it.
You're lying.
No. Yeah.
You're serious?
Just bring the car over there and they'll do the oil change because your car needs an oil change.
Okay.
But I'm working, so I can't do it.
So you're not gonna come with me?
He did all the work for you. All you have to do is just go drop it off and maybe have like a fucking donut while you're waiting in a coffee. My jeez. Like, I'm upset and got freaking triggered by this.
No, you're a grown adult. They'll do the change.
Babe, no. I can't do that. What if they ask me weird questions? Like, do you need tires?
Say no, I'm here for an oil change. See how easy that is?
What if they tell me something's wrong with the engine? Do I pay for that? Do I tell them, yeah, fix whatever? Because they're gonna tell me that something is wrong with our car's engine.
Just get an oil change. That's it.
I can't.
Nope. Just tell them no. I'll talk to my husband, whatever. Just
like, Alex is laughing at this. I am not. I am actually a little bit triggered because I experience this quite often.
Go to get an oil change.
I
this
can't.
Is not hard.
This is very stressful.
You got it.
No, could you work in the car and come with me?
Absolutely. Are you joking? You seriously can't go do that?
No, I can't.
This is unbelievable.
I don't want to do this.
One of the biggest ironies of feminism is that it is a story of oppression told by a demographic of extreme privilege. To be a stay-at-home wife and mother is a charmed existence. It's so comfortable that asking them to do an oil change, that's too much. It's so interesting that it was
You didn't even ask him to do an oil change, Alex. No, we asked him to go drop off the car to get it changed.
Wealthy, educated white women living, a university academic life that created feminism, where the huge struggle that they were concerned about was getting bored housewives trapped in suburbia out into the workforce. That just seems so extraordinarily tone deaf when so many women were working before feminism, working class women who had no choice, often minority women. Did you know that in 1960, 33% of all black women worked as domestic servants? They weren't doing that because of feminism. It just seems like very convenient for, privileged, wealthy, upper class women who go to Ivy League universities to say, we want to enter the workforce. We don't want to stay home, when you're able to pay a pittance of wages to black women to come in and handle all the domestic duties that you don't want to do.
Hey, same thing with Asians, right? There's families now that get women from Asia to be what is that called, like when they take care of the kids, not milk maidens, whatever, the people that take care of kids, nannies or whatever. You get them from Asia and you fly them over here because they're cheaper.
Too busy being liberated. That's why I need this underpaid servant class to work for me, which of course means that all the women working as domestic servants, they're not at home taking care of their own children. Let's be honest, feminism is a rich girl's luxury ideology. The nerve to present feminism as though it represents all women is completely ridiculous. Feminism has been disastrous for working class women. I'm going to demonstrate that in this video. Let's start with the economic stress that's created by a society where both man and woman have to work.
Do you think we could split it?
You want to split it?
Yeah, I'll pay half, you pay half.
Do we split the mortgage?
Well,
do we split the car outside? You want me to pay for everything and make investments for us and worry about our future? How about you take care of something?
Economic anxiety, cost of living pressures, and the stress that comes with that is bad for relationships. They found that for 73% of couples, it is money issues that are the biggest driver of conflict in their relationship.
This is why I say money is not the end all be all, but it's damn important.
As dual income households became the norm, the economy repriced itself around having two earners. And the single income household went from being the norm for many working class families to an economic impossibility. For women who are born or marry into wealth, whether they work or don't work, it doesn't really make a difference. So the real impact of feminism is that upper class women gained a choice, but lower class women lost one. And it's not just the economic realities that feminism changed, it's the social attitudes as well. Because before feminism, men felt honor and duty bound to provide for the women in their life. But feminism said that that was unnecessary, or worse, it was patriarchal.
I was going to say, it's going to be, it's misogyny.
And toxic. Men were explicitly told that their contributions were no longer necessary.
Women don't need men anymore.
Why?
Because we are self-sustainable. We make money. We don't need you guys to go out hunting anymore. Like, we can bring food on our table. Your time's off. I mean, you made a good run.
That's cold-blooded. Like we didn't treat y'all like that.
Again, look at this from the perspective of class, because for the woman who was born into wealth, whose parents can afford to send her to whatever top university she wants, of course she can make her own money. She's going to be fine. She mixes in wealthy circles. She's going to have all kinds of opportunities. Her finances are going to be fine, but that doesn't track to all women. And this ideology, this rah-rah feminism, we don't need men anymore, we can make our own money, we're financially independent. Working class women heard that and they believed it, but they don't have the same opportunities as wealthy women. They don't have as much money. For working class women, they absolutely do need men. That is just an economic fact.
As a single 29-year-old woman, I have 3 jobs and I'm still struggling, and I'm just getting myself farther and farther into credit card debt because I don't have enough after the first of the month to avoid using it. Full-time job. Not doing it. Got a second job. It's barely doing it. The third job. Hit or miss. If I even get paid on time. I feel like I'm drowning and I don't know what to do. Okay, do I just find a boyfriend so I can split everything with him?
Yes. You should have done that from the outset.
Yeah, that's literally the easiest thing.
It's brutal at the moment. And if you don't have a fancy, well-paying job, then yes, as a matter of economic survival, you absolutely do need to be combining your finances with a man. We don't need men. We can make our own money. That is a rich girl's luxury ideology. Yes, find a boyfriend, split your finances with him, but don't expect to be easy because, like I said, social attitudes have changed. And because of feminism's approach to this whole thing, a lot of men don't feel that same duty to provide financially that they used to. When feminism indoctrinates women into believing that men financially providing is an expression of toxic patriarchy or worse, financial abuse, they've got to understand that men are listening to that and they're thinking, okay, you want to make your own money? Then fine. You want to be independent and empowered with your own finances? Go. I won't stop you.
Yeah, men have never cared.
So ladies, you got what you want, but how's it working out for you? When the rush of the high of smashing the patriarchy and being an empowered female woman, when that ends and you start to come down, what's it actually like in your life? I tell you, when a lot of these women get a huge wake-up call is after the divorce, because once they burn through that settlement money and they need an actual sustainable income, they quickly discover that the female empowered narrative doesn't put food on the table.
This is why a lot of single mothers out there are failing and struggling and complaining about where are all the good men.
Actually requires labor to generate some cash. My God, I have to pay for my own house and I can't split the bills with anybody. Was this divorce a good idea? Maybe that man was actually necessary and was not as useless as feminism pretended him to be.
I'm going to be really vulnerable. I reached my breaking point. I have been a single mom, whether I've been a single married mom or just a single mom, for 4.5 years. And for 4.5 years, I have carried the load of more than one person. Like, I want to give my kids the best childhood that I possibly can, but I cannot do that alone.
No, you can't. And frankly,
Never
shame
could.
on feminism for telling you that you could. You know, divorce is just another one of those areas where it was clear that feminism was only there to benefit upper class women. See, what feminism did is it completely destigmatized divorce to the point where you can leave a reasonably healthy, functional marriage if you just don't feel fulfilled enough, or if it's just not convenient temporarily. And with the constant
It's okay to leave the good guy. We see so many of those videos.
demonization of men in our society, we still find that child custody overwhelmingly flows in the direction of the mother, which is of course fine if you're wealthy and you're privileged. You know, you married a rich husband, you can depend upon his alimony and his child support. It's not going to make much of a difference for you, but for a working class woman, when they become single mothers, the financial consequences are devastating. You look at families where there's no husband or father in the household, and the statistics are just devastating. Drug use, incarceration rates, poverty, all of these negative outcomes for children, they all increase by thousands of percentage points just because dad's not around. And I'm going to talk about the impact of feminism on working class men in part 2. But just consider the huge number of kids who are growing up in single mother households and realize that
I mean, it's like what, 40%, almost 50% of households nowadays are single mother households. That's a lot.
Absolutely did not used to be this way, not before feminism. But while feminists were concerned about the number of CEOs and politicians that were women and making sure that every company and corporation in the country had this robust HR department, they were completely disconnected from the reality that actual working class women face. Do you think that the poor woman who has to work late shifts at the seedy bar, do you think her workplace has an HR department? Do you think the minority woman working in agriculture, like picking fruit in the field, do you think she feels empowered by feminism? And don't talk to me about welfare. Working class women don't need more welfare. I talk about that in part 2. What working class women need are men. But your ideology, with its hate and divisiveness and selected privilege, it's driven men away. And your nasty attitudes continues to push them even further.
The amount of men that are broke, don't want to be providers, or spend their money to take a woman out to nice places, what do you want then? Do you even like women? Maybe you should be dating men. These types of guys are wondering what they're getting in return when they're getting her presents. Women can afford their own dinner. They don't need to be there. They don't understand. There can only be one princess.
This is what I'm talking about. What has hurt working class women most of all are the attitudes, the values and the demeanor and the personalities that feminism has encouraged all women to adopt. This aggressive, entitled, obnoxious personality. Women have been told that it is empowering. You know, it's somehow going to give them the power to create the life they want.
Men love bitches.
It's a lie. It's a ticket to being single and lonely and financially broke. Surprise, surprise, men don't want this from women. They would rather be single than date a woman like you. And again, the well-off upper class women, they can afford the luxury of being unpleasant. They're cushioned from that. But this has hurt working class women in a really distinctly evil and unique way, because when you disconnect women from their own femininity, you are stealing one of the weapons that women actually had for upwards mobility. For working class women, their femininity was their ticket to potentially a better life. And feminism stole that from them, because throughout history, men have always been willing to date and marry women who were financially not well off, who were beneath them in terms of economic class, if that woman was very beautiful and very feminine. That's gone now because femininity is dying. Feminism told women that to be feminine is an invention of the patriarchy. It's an expression of internalized misogyny. What you see now is a kind of caricature of femininity, like with this tradwife content. And look, part of me is encouraged by the sort of explosion of tradwife kind of stuff that we're seeing, but honestly, part of me is deeply suspicious that this is just another extension of female privilege. It's just rich women who don't feel like working and they want a cushy gig staying home. Of course they do. But the economic realities of our current society basically dictate that two people in a household have to be working just to keep up, unless you're very wealthy. If you look at tradwife aesthetics, can you honestly say that this is screaming working class woman? Or does it seem like wealthy women are having fun playing dress up?
If you are not familiar with the term tradwife, it is a woman who chooses to live a more traditional life with ultra-traditional gender roles. So the man goes outside the house, works, provides for the family. The woman stays home and she's the homemaker. She takes care of the home and the children if there are any. Tradwives also believe that they should submit to their husbands and serve their husbands and family. And we believe our place, specifically us as individuals, believe our purpose is to be homemakers.
I have difficulty really taking this seriously. And let me be clear, I am not against wealthy people. I'm not trying to lean into any kind of class warfare here. You know, if you made a bunch of money and you're now rich, that's fucking awesome. Or if you just got given a bunch of money from your family, lucky you, that's a great life. Don't squander it. So I'm not making the case that like having money is bad or anything. I'm just pissed that feminism can be so blatantly hypocritical, claiming to be this movement that advocates for the rights of the oppressed, when their ideology has only ever served the demographic of women who were fine anyway. I have a very real concern that motherhood itself, reproduction, is going to become so expensive that it's going to be exclusively a privilege of wealthy women in the future. Working class women just won't be able to have kids. You think the birth rate is plummeting now? Wait until we get to that point. This kind of stratification, it's not good for cohesion within a society. Like imagine rich women, they're having a bunch of kids, you know, they're sending them to daycares and to fancy schools. They're playing feminists, you know, having fun in corporate jobs. And, you know, lower class women, working class women, they can't afford to have kids. They're busy raising rich women's kids. There's like a dystopia. Extreme class stratification is not a good thing. And nobody is talking about the fact that feminism has done so much damage entrenching this class division. It just feels like such a spit in the face to some working class woman who's living paycheck to paycheck and is taking care of her sick parents because they can't afford healthcare. And for feminism to say, like, you don't need a man. Like, look how empowered and liberated you are. Now, I want to spend a bit more time going into this tradwife phenomenon, you know, whether or not it's for real or to what degree it is, or if it really is just rich women cosplaying. But first, let's just recap what we've covered in the video so far. We've talked about how feminism is an upper class, rich woman's luxury ideology. We've spoken
We've always seen it that way.
About how working class women need men, not welfare, and how the loss of femininity in women today has denied them one of their primary historical means of class mobility, of moving up in the world. In part 2, I want to talk about the impact of feminism on working class men. I want to explain how welfare has destroyed families, and I also want to do more on tradwives. So I'm going into a lot more depth on that stuff.
Yeah, definitely always seen feminism as more an upper class thing, right? The people that just get to fuck off and say whatever, they don't need anybody, yeah, are usually rich people, right? Normal class working people. I watched it throughout my whole life. My family worked hard. They worked hard together. Husband and wife came together, worked hard to be able to produce what they were able to produce. Very few of my family members were able to do it with just one single household income. This just wasn't possible. Please like, subscribe, comment down below. I really appreciate that, and catch you guys next time. Ciao.